All right. So what is a Florida Notary Public and how to make money doing it? That's why we're here today. My name is Christina Carter. I am the owner and founder of Tallahassee, Florida. And let me tell you a little bit about my story before we get started on how to make money being a notary public. So I started off as a notary public many years ago, back in 2007. I was working at the FSC College of Law, and I was administrative assistant for the office. And they told me that I was delegated to be the notary public for that office. To be completely honest with you guys, I had no idea what that really meant. I looked at it as just an additional delegated duty and one more task that I had to complete. However, once I got into the process and after I completed my 3-hour course, I realized that I was actually kind of enjoying it. I enjoyed being able to be responsible for secure documents. I enjoyed being able to organize them accurately. I enjoyed being able to be appointed by the governor in this position. So it went from being a delegated duty to something I truly enjoyed doing. So as time went on, even as I left my day job and went on to grad school, I decided that I was going to keep up with my notary public commission, and I paid out of pocket for my bond, insurance, etc. However, I can honestly say up until recently, I also never made any money off of it. It was purely by word of mouth, and I did it for free for friends and family. That was until the pandemic came. I found myself in a moment where my international research had been halted. I couldn't continue on writing my dissertation and working on my research. And that is when online notarizations became legal for the first time in this of January of 2020. And I was getting all these flyers in the mail. And for those of you that know my background, I'm also the multimedia director for Tallahassee Woman Magazine, and I've taught multicultural film at FSU. So anything dealing with technology, I love. And I said, you know, this is the moment where now technology is needing notary skills and organization and all that fun stuff. So I quickly became a remote online notary. One thing led to the next, and it was like a whole new world open to me. It was no longer about word of mouth and doing notary that I still enjoy doing. However, now I was making money off of it. I started to network with other notaries around the area, and I realized that in addition to becoming a remote online notary, you can make a lot of money doing a lot of other things, which we'll be discussing in just a few moments. And that includes starting up your own business. So what exactly is a Florida Notary Public? So one thing that individuals might not know is that this is actually an appointed position by the governor. You must be commissioned, and your function is to administer oaths or affirmations and to take acknowledgement and to attest the trueness of photocopies of certain documents. So, in other words, this is not necessarily a license that one holds. This is an appointed position by the governor of the state of Florida. So what are some of the qualifications and what does it take to be a commissioned Florida Notary Public? So first they ask that you use your legal first and last name. As obvious as it might seem, it is mandatory and one of the first steps. Second, for all notarial certificates and notary public seals, you must use your legal first and last name that you have used in your application. Third, you must be at least 18 years of age. So as long as you're 18, you can become a Florida Notary Public. You must be a legal resident of Florida. It does not state how long you have been a resident in the Florida manual. You must also have never been convicted of a felony charge, and or if you have, you must have had your rights restored. You also must take a constitutional oath of office. Again, this is an appointed position. And you must complete a minimum 3-hour interactive classroom instruction course within 1 year of applying. So let's talk about this class. Let's talk about the cost and how you can obtain it. So overall, not including the class, a cost to become a Florida Notary Public is only $39. So that's a $25 fee for the application. There's a $10 commission required by the state of Florida, $4 surcharge, which is appropriated to the executive office to the governor. A few other points I want to make is that, again, it's an appointed position, but what some people don't know is that once you become a Florida Notary Public, you actually are appointed for 4 years. So you don't need to worry about renewing your commission or securing a bond, which is the next point that I want to make, for the next 4 years. So in order to be a Florida Notary Public, you must have a minimum capacity of a $7,500 bond. Okay, so what does this mean? It states that if there is any harm that has resulted in your notarization of a document, for instance, if you have misread somebody's identification, etc., you are then secured through this bond. And there are actually a list of bonds that can that you can locate within the state of Florida's website. Okay, so what does it mean to have this official seal and commission certificate? So this Notary Public seal is affiliated to all paper documents, and it's completely important to note that it's also property of the notary and must be kept in a confidential, safe place. So when you obtain your notary seal and your commission, it must be locked at all times, because if you lose that notary seal and commission, and if somebody is using your notary seal or commission without your consent, you haven't reported it, you can actually face misdemeanor charges. So that's how important it is to make sure that you're keeping track of your notary stamp and commission. In addition to that, just another few points to make. You must inform the Department of State within 60 days if you have any address changes, name changes, and you must resign within the state of Florida, including a signed letter, return your certificate of notary commission, and destroy your official notary stamp unless the governor requests return once your commission has ended. So if you decide to move out of the state of Florida and or it has been revoked, you must return it. Okay. So where can you take this 3-hour course to become a Florida Notary Public? And some of us have already taken the course. I would recommend taking the free course that's listed here through the Florida state website. It's the approved site. It's free. Again, you can go through other websites and do your own research on this. However, if you are looking for a commissioned Florida Notary Public, I would recommend doing the free class that's located here. And on that same website, there's also an approved list of education providers if you're interested in that. Okay, so what are some other useful sites and affiliations? I would most definitely recommend one of the first sites and affiliations to become a member of being the National Notary Association, which we discussed a little bit already. This is where you can also learn and become certified in other areas, like, for instance, a loan signing agent. There's also something that I found extremely helpful, especially during the beginning, couple of months of becoming a loan signing agent, and even starting up my own business as a notary public. They offer a 1-800 number for all of their members, so you can call them at any time and ask them a question. They're very, very helpful. It's also a great networking tool. There are forums located on the National Notary website, and overall, it's just a great community to be a part of. If you decide to become a loan signing agent, which we will be holding a workshop on that later, it's a great community to have your listing on. And a lot of loan signing agents will actually go to that website and hire you, and title companies will hire you looking at that website and looking for the qualifications that you have. Okay. So what are some of the duties of a notary public. So according to the state of Florida manual, there are 6 basic duties. The first one being, which we've already discussed, to administer oaths or affirmations. Second, take acknowledgement. Third, we can actually solidify marriages. We can attest to photocopies. So in other words, if there is a document that is an original document, a notary has the qualification to be able to attach a notarial act to a photocopy of that document to make it legal. We also can identify and verify vehicle identification numbers, VIN numbers, as well as speedometer files, and verify the contents of safe deposit boxes. So all of these things that you can do as a notary public, but how do you make money doing it? Okay, first, you gotta advertise your services. Tell everybody that you know that you are now a notary public. That includes social media. Build a social media site focused on your notary public. And or if you haven't gone to that stage yet, advertise your services on your personal one. Include mobile notary services with your notary service package, and make sure that you charge a travel fee. Take a look at what other notary publics in the areas are charging for their travel fees, but you can add an additional $50 to $70 per notarization if you include mobile notary services as part of your packages. Keep in mind, you cannot charge more than $10 per notarization for the state of Florida. So how you make some extra money is include mobile notary services in your portfolio and add that travel fee. Make sure that you're available on weekends and holidays, okay, where people can't get a hold of another notary. You guys have no idea how often I've had clients call me at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday. We need to get this done now. The banks, are closed and or not able to see me right now. It's a holiday. Another means is to become a remote online notary. Florida is one of the few states that allows remote online notarizations to take place. Now, it is capped at $25. You cannot charge any more than $25 for the state of Florida. However, it's flexible. You can conduct notarizations to anybody in the whole country and any U.S. citizen that's located outside of the country. Loan signing agent. Again, we'll be holding a workshop later on what it takes to become a loan signing agent, how much money you can make. And we're gonna go through that in just a few moments. Becoming a wedding officiant in the state of Florida, all notary publics automatically have the capacity to officiate weddings. This is an extra little bonus that you can add to your services, perhaps on the weekends if you're looking for something more flexible. And there is the field inspector out there. So field inspectors don't necessarily have to be notary publics. However, they're a lot more likely to hire notary publics to be field inspectors. You'd be astonished at how many emails I get a week on whether or not we do field inspections. How much money can you make being a field inspector varies on whether you're doing commercial or residential. So let's go back to the remote online notary certification. That's probably going to be the easiest first step after becoming a Florida notary public to add to your portfolio. There is an additional class, it's a training course. You do have to apply. It's only a $10 application fee. You also, I must state, there's a Ron State of Florida website. You have to have an affiliation with an online platform. We personally use DocVerify, and there is a fee for that on a monthly basis. However, if you network correctly and you feel as though you can gain a lot of clients through your online notarizations, that would be probably the first step that I would take. If you're looking for another certification, I would look into becoming a loan signing agent, again, through the National Notary Association. You take a loan signing training course. It's much longer than the first class. That's only 3 hours. You must pass an exam, and you also must pass a background screening. Okay, the background screening takes about 30 days. Once you buy your signing agent supplies, you also must have a $25,000 insurance policy, insurance policy in case of any errors or mistakes, in addition to your bond. However, I will state that on a minimum, when you first start out, you can make $80 per loan signing. And depending on what kind of loan signing, whether it's a refi, a purchase, seller, you can make up to $150 per loan signing. So let's say you have 2 loan signings a day, you just made $300 and you made that within 2.5 hours. Officiate weddings. Okay, so weddings are one of my favorite things to do. You can get it as personal as you want with the couple. I will state that per the state of Florida, you cannot charge more than $30 per the notarization of wedding certificates. However, again, we're talking about how you can make money. You can include a travel fee. You can also include personalized services with the couples. And it's all about how you itemize your business. Just let the couple know specifically what they're being charged for. But again, you have to ensure that you're not charging more than $30 for the actual notarization of the wedding. Okay, so field inspectors. Did a little bit of research. Per property, you can make approximately $75 to $150. How long it takes to do a field inspection varies. There are some field inspectors that literally only require you to go and take a picture of the front of the house, the side of the house, and you're done. That's an avenue, again, that you don't necessarily have to be a notary public to be one, but they are much more likely to hire you if you are a notary public. Okay, so to wrap things up, before I ask if there are any questions, in order to become a Florida notary public, you must take a 3-hour course. You must purchase a bond of $7,500. Must purchase your stamp. Networking. If people don't know that you are a notary public, they're not going to know to use your services. So make sure that you let everybody know that you are a notary public, and make sure that you figure out what additional certifications you want to add to your portfolio, whether that's becoming a remote online notary or a loan signing agent. Do your research, do your networking, and see what is available in your community. Are there any questions? Thanks, guys. Get back to eating. Are there really good questions? As a notary public or a loan signing agent or both? Absolutely. So I would say when I first started off, I was doing mainly, again, this is when I first started off as a business, right? Because I was a notary public for years and I wasn't making money off of it. I was just doing it for fun. I focused on loan signings because, as I stated, you can make 100 to 250 per signing. You do the math real quick, you do 3 or 4 loads a day, which is how you can make that 1,000 or more a week. But once I started to get the word out about my loan signing services, then I started to realize that notary